everybody, I'm Mike Hucker Clark. This is my friend Colby. We're here at ODI, and you're going to show us how my grips are made.
Sure thing. So this is where it all starts. These are the raw material pellets. We custom compound these pellets to get different feels. So we have different durometers, different levels of tackiness. Each one of them has just kind of a signature feel. So every time we do a new grip, like with your signature grip, we'll customize this compound to fit the design and the feel that we want out of the grip. So you feel that squish.
So
and
squishy. Wow, that's
oily
crazy.
a little bit on that one too. Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
They're obviously clear. We can do it in black as well, or we can add colorant to turn it into different colors.
Oh, that feels almost softer even.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the different colors feel different.
Everything's got a little bit different profile. You see how it's kind of sticking to my hand? That's some of that tackiness that we have built in. Trying to see if we have a harder durometer over here.
The Breaking Bad of rubber.
Yeah. So these are all the runners. We're really big on sustainability and recycling here. And so every time you shoot a grip, you get a runner. This is where the material goes into the machine, it fills out, and then it fills the grip cavities through these little tiny holes right here. So we save all of these, and we're able to regrind them and turn them into packaging for other grips so they don't end up in a landfill somewhere, which is pretty cool.
It's incredible.
So you can see we're pretty stringent on quality. So this is a Hucker grip that didn't make the cut.
It looks perfect.
Kind of like those guys over there. Didn't quite make the cut.
What happened on a grip like this? Why didn't it make the cut?
It's going to be a slight imperfection somewhere. Maybe it was a little bit short. Maybe there was a little bit of too much indentation on the gate.
Different.
Yeah, it could have been something with the shark teeth on the inside there, or maybe a shut off around the Hucker logo.
Oh, okay.
So this is what we turn all of those grips into. We grind it up, we can combine all the colors, and we can add a little bit of black to turn it into a nice black color. And you can feel there's a lot of different durometers and textures and everything in here. So this is what becomes other BMX grips or other packages depending on what the call out is on material. But 100% of this,
right?
100% of this gets recycled, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so none of it ends up in a landfill. Yeah, the softer you get, like this stuff over here, the gnarlier it gets. I've always wanted to like jump into a vat of that stuff.
I actually was thinking we things for foam pits.
Yeah. I don't think you'd ever get out. I think it'd be like quicksand. So this is the actual Hucker packaging. And so talking about the recycled, both of the parts that the grips hang on are actually made out of this material. So this is kind of a little example. And then we're using the end plugs to hold the grips into place. So that's eliminating another step. It would either be a rivet or a piece of plastic or something else. But everything was here is designed for sustainability and easy to recycle, and also to capture that unique Hucker vibe. So we make a lot of grips for S&M. We make some fit grips. We make Colt grips. We make the Vans grips, which is a Colt collab. We do a lot of grips for different power sports companies, a lot for different mountain bike companies. I can take you over to the grip cabinet and I'll show you some of the different molds that we do.
Hey, what's up, Hucker? Hey.
This is a cavity for a KTM grip that's used on the motocross side. You can actually see the KTM logo indented into the grip. We have a few different cabinets like this, and every single space is full. Everyone's assigned a different material. One of the things we feel really strongly about is being able to do the tooling in-house. So like I went over with the Bmx Grips and what we did with your grip, a lot of that wouldn't have been possible had we not had tooling in-house. The shutoffs and all of the details are too fine. When we send it outside, they just don't want to deal with it. So we're able to kind of do some trial and error and testings on the machine and see what works and what doesn't work. And we'll go over that with your grip tooling here in a second. So you see, we've got this side. We've got some more grips on this side. And then we've got another side over here, as well as a couple other cabinets around here that all have different grips in there.
Look at all the Huckers working.
So we're headed over to the tool room right now. And as I used to say in cribs, this is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
So this is the basics of a grip tool. It's basically the inverse of the grip. The material comes in through that little tiny opening right there, fills out the entire cavity. There'll be a core that comes in and it shuts off around that core to form the inside diameter of the grip. The material of the grip is only part of the equation. The actual design, the size, the spacing, the amount of chamfer, all of that affects the overall feel of the grip. So when we designed the Hucker grip, we designed it with a lot of different zones for different types of comfort. So you can see The rib spacing here is a little bit wider on the inside of the grip. It gets a little bit tighter on the outside. The ribs also, they go from being vertical to horizontal as they get to the finger side of the grip. The effect of that is the grip feels a lot softer on the hand side, gives you more cushion, more impact dampening, and you get more traction and control with the horizontal ribs on the finger side of the grip. And then we set up the end to be solid. This is where the grip tends to wear out the quickest. Yeah. So we added some additional material there so that when you land, it won't bottom out, so you have a little bit more padding on the hardest part of your hand. It also makes the grip last a little bit longer. But one of the things that we pride ourselves on is being able to kind of change and adapt and do a lot of adjustments with the tooling. So some of the complaints we got early on is that some of these ribs were ripping a little bit too early. So we actually had our guys go in and touch up this tooling. They went in on every single one of those ribs and put a little bit of a chamfer inside of every single one of those so that the rib would be less likely to rip on the end of the grip. So you'll find that the ribs now, the life on them has been extended with that little bit of a change, which is kind of cool because we were able to do that in-house and react directly to the feedback from you on these grips.
How long does that little change take to complete the process in the tooling?
So that literally took somebody about 2 weeks by hand to go through there and clean up because of all of the detail and the pattern on these grips.
That's amazing.
But we wanted to do that because we want to make sure that we're delivering exactly what we set out for on these.
Yeah. How long would that take if it wasn't done in-house, if you had to outsource somewhere else?
Probably a couple of months, and the odds of it being correct would be really, really low.
Yeah.
Here since we control the production, the distribution, everything all from one place, we know exactly what the next step in the line needs. So we can design the part and design the tool exactly for that. And even this shutoff here where we wanted to get that second material in here, the second material actually is a harder durometer, so it allows a little bit better bar adhesion, but trying to get this shutoff so that you can see the two materials is something we wouldn't have been able to accomplish had we sent it outside.
Yeah.
We would have had to have both materials be really, really hard in order for that to work. So this was a pretty complicated tool. We're pretty proud of the way that it came out and the way that the different zones and everything feel on this.
Amazing. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. He's like, there's so much going into it. He explains it so well also.
That's the common misconception, is that grips, especially rib grips, that all it is just a different durometer material that sets them apart. There's literally microscopic changes on this thing that we make that make a huge difference in feel. So it's tooling design, it's pattern, it's the material, the different blends that we use to try to come up with just the right feel on your hands, and then even taking it through and trying to make the packaging as easy and user-friendly and environmentally friendly as we can. We try to innovate at every single level of this. Does it smell good? How's it taste?
It smells intense.
So we have our guy over here who's been doing this for a while. This is Jose. He's our head tooling engineer. How long have you been doing the tooling, Jose?
I can't remember. 35 years?
35 years. There's almost no project that he hasn't seen before. We've got currently 3 full-time tooling engineers and a couple of assistants. Collectively, between all of our production staff, we have over 120 years of experience in building injection molds. And they do everything from molds this size to the ones that you saw out in the shop that weigh 10,000 pounds. Do a slow-mo shot. Go back and stand in the fan over there. With his hair flapping in the wind, that was just amazing.
That's crazy. I've had this walkthrough, like, I think this is my 3rd time, and I'm like more blown away than the first time. I feel like every time I'm like more blown away.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You know, it'd be a lot easier to
incredible.
just order everything from Asia and just, you know, count boxes when they come in. But we would lose the ability to customize and create, and that's what we really pride ourselves on. So let's go around the far side over here. So here's where the magic finally happens. We get everything together. We've got all the custom materials loaded. We're actually making both passes of the grip at the same time. So it's molding on these grips. We've got the orange first pass and then the gray over molding. We're making an orange first pass over here and the gray over molding over here. When it's done with the cycle, it'll pick up and rotate. We'll make a new first pass and we'll shoot a second pass over the first pass we just created.
Gotcha.
You can see the sprue pickers pulling the sprues automatically. Those are all destined for the recycle bin and they'll get turned into another grip product or packaging. So the shut-off tolerances to be able to mold those two materials are pretty gnarly. It's about half of the width of a human hair that they've got to get exactly right. The material's got to flow exactly perfectly in order for everything to fill out and not end up in the scrap bin. So trying to get that dialed in is where Luis, who you met earlier, he's our expert. He can get almost anything to run that we needed to run.
Half the width of a human hair. That's pretty precise. Is this one of the machines that takes about 90 seconds?
This one is currently, I can't see it on this screen, but it's probably between 60 and 90 seconds for a full cycle.
So it makes the bottom compound first, and then it goes on and does the top compound afterward.
Right, and so that bottom compound has to fall precisely in the right position so that that second mold shuts off on the parts that aren't supposed to be over molded and leaves open the parts that are. So there's really, really tight tolerances. You picture the materials flowing like water in the mold, and you're trying to create a seal that doesn't allow it under pressure to break that seal.
How did they make it so there's no air pockets in the grips?
So it's really hard to see from this view, but on the tooling, there's these little tiny air vents that they'll build into the mold. And that's some of that's proprietary on how they do that, but there are strategic places where they'll put the air vents, and it's just big enough for air to escape and small enough that the material won't fill it in. Did I put my hand in there?
The scanner. Yeah.
You did?
Yep, that was me.
Yeah.
I went like this while it was moving. So now we got to get Luis. Do you know how to reset it?
He's on his way.
All right, so I put my hand in the safety sensor. I set off the alarm, and now our foreman's going to help us get this thing set up again.
Glad it wasn't me.
It's always me.
So did you ruin that pair of grips?
I think they might be salvageable as long as we can get this thing running again. We'll find out here in a second.
Thanks,
Good.
man. Thank you, dude.
Nice to meet you, man. No worries.
So that's the next thing we want to work on is some new colorways. Maybe a Rasta.
Rasta would be awesome.
All right, we got to go in the vault and see what we can find. Let me see. Oh, look at this, man. Oh, this is rad.
Front
This is
and center.
awesome. Look, it's the Hucker Summer Stoke kit. I can't believe that we still have one of these around. These things were such a hot ticket last year.
Let's give it away.
That'd be awesome, man. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe they could just post their favorite riding spot during the summer and tag Mike Hucker and ODI.
That'd be sick. Send us your pic of or a video of your favorite riding spot. Tag at Mike Hucker and at ODI Grips, and we're gonna give a couple of these bad boys away.
Yeah, and just tag ODI Summer Spot.
Hashtag ODI Summer Spot. That sounds perfect, man. Let's make this happen.
Let's do it. So yeah, that's exactly what goes into getting my signature grip made here at ODI. It's pretty incredible how much detail and hard work goes into these things. So pick up a pair, hope you like them.